So from the former Red Bull driver to current Red Bull driver, Daniel Ricciardo. Don't know if you can see down there. You might be able to, a little bit. Lots of boats in the harbour, but on the right there, possibly the smallest boat. But the Australians have used their nous and have built a tent on the side, which they have been equipping with cold beers all the way through the weekend. Smart use of space. Danny Rick, they're here to support him. He's had a good season. Not the best season. Didn't dominate his teammate in any way or shape or form that he had done Sebastian Vettel 1 year earlier. In fact, Danny Kvyat finishing the season on top. But Ricciardo, I think, mindful of the fact that this season certainly one of regeneration and rebirth for Red Bull Racing, given all the problems that they had, to have come out of it as they have done, probably has made that team even stronger. Hello, chap.
Good day.
What's the...
It's a bromance.
Is it the bromance between you and JB?
It's like a big brother bromance. I think there's like nearly, what's our age difference? Nearly like 10 years, I think. So it's like a, I don't know. I don't know if that's relevant. We spent a bit of time in Monaco together, I guess, and he's always been really nice. I think he's been one of the more sound guys in Formula One. Never sort of got his head somewhere else, so he's a good bloke.
Tell us about your season as a whole, because it kind of been an easy one, but how much has it helped you to grow, and not just as a driver, but as a person?
Yeah, I'm definitely grateful for this season. You know, obviously I'd be more grateful if I was world champion, but to be honest, you know, I think I'll look back on it and be grateful for the experiences I've had, things I've learned. It's definitely made me a more complete driver, I think. You know, it wasn't always visible on track, but trust me, when you get back and work with the engineers, there's a lot I've learned and a lot I've picked up on, I feel. So, and just learning how to deal with your emotions, frustrations, everything, the whole flow of the sport. So, yeah, next year if we got a bit more speed behind us, I think I'll use it well.
Would this make Red Bull Racing a more potent challenge in future years, having won 4 World Championships, to have to go through this kind of hardship? Was it needed?
You know, I don't know if it was needed. I think the unit we had was always strong, but it's definitely made us, I believe, stronger. You know, it's how we, let's say, picked ourselves up from the start of the year, and how the guys turned it around from, you know, mid-season onwards was pretty special. There was times where, you know, I feared that the team would start to not fall apart, but, you know, there would be some negative effects that would flow on to the work and the, let's say, the build of the car, but it went, you know, 180 degrees in the other way, and the way we all hoped. So I think the team we got is strong, and yeah, once we get the tools, yeah, everyone's going to thrive off it. Cheers.
Now, a lot of people ask why I have 2 microphones when I'm standing in the pen doing interviews. This one is connected. I'm not using that one. This link's not going to work, Jason. I'm getting confused. So this microphone's now attached to the camera that's filming this, so you can hear my voice going down this cable and going into the camera. But when I'm not on camera during the session and I'm just coming through as audio, I'm coming through this microphone, which is attached at the back here to a little RF unit, which sends it back sort of through the airwaves and satellites and things, something like that. Not very technical. So that's why they're not maracas. Anyway, from Daniel Ricciardo, current face of Red Bull Racing, to potentially the future of Red Bull Racing, Max Verstappen. What a debut season from the rookie, just 18 years old now. Desperately impressive all the way through. Abu Dhabi won't go down in history as the best race he had in the sport, but it was far from the worst. And I think, just on reflection, an amazing first season for a guy who I think many people in this paddock think is going to change a lot. Probably not your best day in Formula One, but some more great overtaking moves. One that was possibly a little bit over the edge, certainly the stewards thought so. Tell us about your day.
Yeah, it was not my day, but I think the pace was good. It was just a shame I locked up the tyres, so I had to box. And from there on, the whole race was compromised. And yeah, I mean, I enjoyed my overtakes again, but I was a bit a bit driving alone for a long time of the race, so definitely not my day.
Frustrated not to finish the season in the top 10?
Well, I don't know. I mean, the whole season has been great, so one bad race is okay.
No, it really doesn't. I mean, I know it's only just at the end of the Grand Prix, you haven't had time to think about it yet, but looking back on this year in Formula One, are you surprised? What are your emotions looking back on what has been, to everybody here, a really impressive first season in Formula One?
It was very good. I enjoyed it a lot, especially in the rookie season. Normally it's not that easy to get into F1, and I think we delivered a very strong performance. We had great overtakes. We were 10 times in Q3. I think what is also a good result, despite the engine deficit we have. So I think the whole team, and for myself, I can be also very happy.
Great job. So from the good news story of Max Verstappen into what has been, well, one of the big narratives of this year, and it's not been an overly happy one, that of McLaren Honda. Where to begin, really? It has been nothing but abject failure after abject failure, although perhaps some green shoots of recovery, as I put it to Jenson Button after the race today, being shown here in Abu Dhabi. He's expecting to just get past like he was standing still today, but he didn't. He actually had quite a comparatively competitive race. Alonso miserable, at some point was kind of calling the team and saying, I want to retire the car, I don't want to do this anymore. I think perhaps Fernando's just had enough. It's also been a difficult end of season with the team's captain of a sinking ship, perhaps, in some ways, Ron Dennis, coming out with some pretty interesting comments about Kevin Magnussen not living up to expectations, although I'm not sure how you can live up to expectations when you're sitting on your backside because you're not racing throughout the year. What expectations are there on you? Making some interesting comments about Lewis Hamilton and how he would have been better if he'd stayed at McLaren. Well, he probably wouldn't be a 3-time world champion now if he had. Really odd times at McLaren. Clearly all is not well from the very helm of that ship all the way down. But you know what? Jenson Button and Fernando Alonso have been real troopers all the way through the season. They've carried themselves with good humour and good grace pretty much always and throughout. So here's the two of them at the end of what has been an incredibly difficult season for two Formula One world champions. End of a very long season, I'm sure, but a good race. It looked like you had fun out there.
Yeah, a lot of fun. I mean, we finished 12th. I think 19 cars finished, so it's not bad at all. I mean, keeping a Willies behind for 5 laps, I mean, that's unheard of for many cars, especially ours. So it really shows our strengths and around the lap that we could do that. I mean, the closing speed was phenomenal, and Valtteri said exactly the same thing. Yeah, happy with that. The car was enjoyable to drive like it was yesterday. There's still areas of improvement, but it's definitely the best car I've driven this year, which is good. But we know where our weaknesses are, and also I had to save fuel for the whole race, so it makes it really difficult to keep tyre temperature and to try and keep cars behind. So.
Are these the green shoots of recovery that you needed to see to have confidence going into the winter?
Yeah, the feeling was really good. Enjoyed it, and it's been a long time coming to actually enjoy driving the car, so I enjoyed it today, and I enjoyed that as well. So yeah, it's been a tough old year for all of us, but I suppose it's a high because I crossed the finish line with a smile on my face, and I think the team did as well. So lots to build on, and looking forward to the winter. Cheers, man. Thanks.
Hello, Fernando. It's over. You can smile now. You don't have to endure that. Talk us through the race. A frustrating one, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely. Being last with no battles all the race, it was pretty much alone. We say always there are some test races for us, but today it was more than ever a test session because I was alone all the race. And hopefully we get some information useful for now for winter to develop the car. But definitely very difficult race from the start.
Are you going on a sabbatical, or will we see you racing next year?
I will be racing. That's 100%. If I had to choose a sabbatical, I would choose this one, the last one. And I was here, and I was pushing, and I was giving my maximum, and I will always do.
Thanks.